Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in?
And you won't be angry?
I will not be angry.
Abby someone.
Abby someone. Abby who?
Abby Normal.
This is the Abby Normal podcast, and I'm your host, Abby Taunton, here to tell you that you're weird, and that's normal. 16% of the notes involve some kind of conflict, usually stemming from relationships with boys, aka you kissed my boyfriend, people feeling left out, or addressing some kind of rumor that's been going around. Most of it is silliness, but I'm struck by how some note writers are able to lay out their feelings and hurts and request a resolution. I found that this is difficult in many adult friendships, so the fact that 12-year-olds had the confidence to do that is pretty impressive. You say I need to grow up a little? Well, you're not Miss Maturity either. Look, you don't know the whole story, so don't go around like a total witch and start stupid, immature fights. Or maybe only people that need to grow up a little start those. I was a little concerned for Renee because I know how she feels. John used to like you and he also kissed you, which is no big deal. Sometimes Renee gets worried and sometimes she over-exaggerates things and makes a bigger deal out of it than it really is. She was almost in tears in choir last Friday, so what you put her through made me a little upset at you. I admit that she made a bigger deal of it than there should have been, and so did I. I would like to straighten this out, but not if you're going to act this way. Good friends don't call each other ... So I guess you're not a friend, but hopefully we can be friends again. This is a rare back-to-back. Abby, how are you? I'm fine. We have to talk because I'm starting to get extremely pissed off. Okay, at me? Why? It's not just you, it's our friendship. It's hard to explain on paper. Call me. No, I want to talk in person. Okay, fine. When? How about lunch? Abby, it's not that I don't love you or anything. I don't think that. Before I forget, I have a message from Rebecca. Don't mess with me, Rebecca, or you'll get your little ass kicked. Now remember, I'm not in this. I'm just a messenger, and I'm innocent. Most of the time, we solved these conflicts with our words. And as we get older, we discover better ways to communicate and resolve conflict. But sometimes we solved these conflicts with our fists. And because those stories are much more entertaining, we're going to hear them first. You got into a fight in Girl Scouts. How did that happen?
I did. You know, in middle school, you're experimenting, discovering who you are. I didn't wear makeup when I was younger, and my mother didn't wear makeup growing up, so she never really taught me how to do it. So when I got like an allowance, I went to the Long's drugstore and picked out a lipstick that I wanted so badly. And it was the Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers Blue Magic. Because I thought that would look really good on my very pale skin.
For sure. So it was like blue, purple.
It was like, yeah, blue, purple, iridescent, shimmery 90s magic.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. So I had my own like very specific makeup that was pretty much just that lipstick and maybe a couple other dumb colors. At the Girl Scout meetings that were like weekly, or maybe they weren't even weekly, monthly, I don't know the frequency, but I brought my little purse with me.
Yes, your clear purse. Got it.
Right. It was clear plastic that had little silver stars on it. It would be very in now because, as you said, that is like what you're required to take to festivals and such now.
Yes.
It made a comeback. I got it from probably Claire's. And one of the other girls, I actually think it was the troop leader's daughter, without asking my permission, went into my bag and got the lipstick while I was in the other room and used it.
Nope.
And I'm like a little baby bit of a germaphobe. It'd be one thing if I was sharing makeup with you because I've known you for basically our whole lives. But I don't know this girl. And she was rude to begin with. So I asked her for it back. And she said no. Or was just like kind of being a jerk about it. So yeah, I pushed her. Push, shove. And then she probably pushed back. And then I probably pushed harder. And I definitely started it, but it was her fault.
I mean, she took your lipstick. I feel like that's the first blow.
Right. That is not recognized in the situation. And I was asked not to return. So yeah, I got kicked out of Girl Scouts for fighting.
You got kicked out.
I probably pulled her hair too. I don't know.
Were you sad that you were no longer in Girl Scouts?
I was not sad because I did not really like it in the first place. Like, I liked the going to camp aspect, which we covered. But other than that, no.
No.
Girls are at that age they're not great.
No.
They're not.
They're little lipstick stealing bitches.
Yeah. They're not very nice. So I didn't like it, but my mom didn't let me quit things. So this was a loophole that I discovered on accident.
Good job. Okay, we haven't talked about this at all, which is shocking, but I am in love with the show Pen 15, aka Penis, on Hulu. It is freaking genius. And one of the recent episodes I watched stole a girl's lip gloss out of her bag. And it was a whole saga. They ended up also stealing a thong, which is, I mean,
Ew.
Yes, ew for sure. And I was crying laughing. It was so funny. So you have to watch it. Let's talk to Brandy Samora, a hometown friend from my retail days.
I believe in my bones that in a past life I was like part of the mob or like organized crime to some extent.
Okay.
I have a strong belief in this is because
Tell me more.
because I have a very, very, very strong sense about loyalties, and I will cut a bitch if they cross me and they cross my loyalty. And I'm like that with I'm like ride or die when it comes to my friends.
Okay.
And so in high school, one of our really good friends was trying to get at Stacy's boyfriend. I ended up slapping her.
Yeah.
So she liked him for a while, I think. The friend did. I will leave names out of this to protect their identities and respect anonymity. But Jennifer
Right under the bus.
to this day, she will not friend me on Facebook or anything like that. Like
The sting on her cheek.
her
she
sting on her
still
cheek is
feels.
still there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember Jennifer's parents were always like out of town or doing stuff, and she lived on Van Ness Extension.
Ooh.
Right. So she was one of those spoiled rich girls.
Uh-huh.
And there was always something about her that I didn't really trust. And not to sound like stuck up, but I felt like there was a level of her trying to
Like get in there.
like up her status.
Oh, okay.
And she would do things that I just didn't like how she would go about doing it. Like if her parents were out of town and she would have a party or whatever, like she would tell us really last minute to come like back. There was just always something that just didn't jive with me. And I would always say something to Stacey and I'm like, this girl, she had a brand new Ford Explorer at the time. Well, that was the car.
That was the car.
That was the car. It was like dark green. Her parents would put like $1,200 in her bank account every month, and they thought they were teaching her
money management.
1,200.
That's like
So like $1,200, I want to say.
in the 90s was like $1 million.
$1 million. And to teach her money management because she had to balance her checkbook every month, like with her credit cards and everything.
She had credit cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I remember going to her house and, like, her mom would come into her room and she would tell her mom to get the fuck out of her room.
No.
Screaming at her mom, calling her mom a bitch. And, like, I remember, like, Lisa, Stacy, and I would look at each other and we'd be like, we would have no teeth if we spoke to our parents like that.
Yeah.
We would, like, we'd barely be able to see out of one eye. And we would have to be fed only pureed stuff. Because my mama would knock my teeth out and knock my ass to the floor if I spoke like that to her, let alone spoke like that to her in front of other people.
Yes.
But I remember getting out of the car and asking her a question, and she lied. And Stacy and I knew that she was lying. And I remember looking at Stacy. I said, I'm going to ask you again. And you're going to want to think about the answer that you're giving me. And so I asked her again, and she like said something else. I'm like, and I just slapped her across the face. I'm like, you're fucking lying.
Oh, your face is so serious right now. It's like making me scared.
Because I remember how pissed I was.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I can't believe you slapped her. I'm like, but nobody's talking about the fact that she's a fucking liar.
Yeah, the swoop, trying to swoop in on someone else's boyfriend.
Yeah. And I didn't even really care for the guy. Like, I wish that Stacey would have broken up with him.
Matter.
That didn't matter.
It's about the loyalty.
It's the loyalty.
That was your girl's man,
Yeah.
and someone else was trying to get him
No.
in there. No.
Not that she would have either.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's the principle
It's
of
the principle.
thing.
Especially when you're friends with someone.
Yeah.
It's not even just some rando girl. It was like, we all hung out together. We were our posse. And she was trying to get at him. And I did not like it.
No.
So I had to hit a bitch. And that's when the Mexican came out.
That hint of Mexican.
Otherwise, the Japanese comes to my introvert side.
Right. You're a well-balanced person.
Well-balanced person. There you go.
Did I tell you about the one fight I got in?
Oh, that's not the only fight I got in. That wasn't even a fight.
That was the story you told. Do you have a better fight story?
There's only one other person that I've either hit or hit me.
Are you friends with her on Facebook?
I am.
Okay. So
We got over it.
You made up.
We made up.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. There was probably drugs involved.
Probably.
You know, I think there might have been a day of eating mushrooms at Lost Lake involved in that one.
Lost Lake.
No.
It's good.
But what your fight?
It was a loyalty situation.
It has to be a loyalty situation.
Yeah, there was some little that probably also lived on Van Ness Extension. And she was talking shit on my sweet little friend. I had a sweet little friend. You don't do that. No, you can talk shit on me even. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Do not talk shit on my friend. Mm-hmm. So we met up at the Applebee's parking lot.
Shut your face.
And fought each other.
Which Applebee's parking lot?
Herndon. So north side.
Oh, closer to your high school.
Exactly. And
see, I had Fig Garden in my mind.
Pretty accurate.
No, that's too far for you.
Yeah, so I don't think they had a lot of parking lot fights there. So the manager came out and was like, I'm calling the police. And so it stopped.
And fast forward to today, there's a good chance that we would have been that manager that went out to the parking lot and said, I'm going to call the police.
Oh, poor managers.
How the roles reversed. How the roles reversed.
I think I might have gotten in one good punch, but
I've never punched anybody.
There was a lot of hair pulling.
Oh, yeah, because that's like what you go for.
That's what you go for, yeah.
The only two physical contact situations I've been in has been maybe a push and slap.
And a slap, yeah.
And a slap.
Yeah. I have only slapped men.
Oh, the slapping includes Rob.
I'm sure he deserved it.
It's like Jennifer, Jolene,
your husband,
and my husband are the people that I've slapped.
Yeah. Next up is my punk rock mom friend, Cindy Chi Sitman, whose voice you've been hearing on her track, I Vampiri with the Impalers. Did you get in any girl fights?
In high school, for sure. In junior high, the only thing that happened was one time some kid called me a chink and I clocked him.
No.
I don't know if that counts as a fight, me just knocking him to the ground. I have scars from that one.
You do?
That's the one fight, quote unquote fight, that I have scars from because that fool had braces.
Oh, no.
And it was like a crime scene.
Oh, no.
It was just one hit.
Was it at school?
It was totally at school. It was in front of the lockers.
Did you get in trouble?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But then I cried and was like, I am the product of a broken home. And then they created this program for children of divorced parents.
No, and you were the only one in the program.
No, I wasn't the only one. Because, this is, they're a bunch of rich kids, so there's a lot of divorce. But I'm the only one who was so tragic and needed support and,
oh my God.
Really did not want to get beaten by my mother when I got home.
Right.
So they found workbooks and everything. It was bananas. I had a lot of feelings about my mom, but not about divorce.
Yeah. My lifeguard friend Corey Parker has agreed to unearth her own boxes of notes and let me take a look at the conflicts inside. Okay, this is the unboxing.
The unboxing.
You have your notes.
So
And you have a She's Sassy shoebox.
It is size 10.
It was $13.98. That's how much it cost to purchase those.
It's black. And then we also have the
Mervyn's
brown
Anna style. Okay.
whatever that
Do you have
was.
any idea what year?
I think these are all high school notes.
Okay.
And I have not opened them 10 years maybe?
10
So I
years.
have no idea what's in them.
Oh, I'm so
one do you wanna
excited.
start with?
Are you excited?
I am
How do you
excited.
feel about this? Are you afraid?
Slightly. Because I haven't shared these clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you trust me?
100%.
I mean, I will mock you.
I know you will. You should. You're my
Okay.
friend.
All right. We're going to do it.
This is very exciting. So which one do you want to start with? She's Sassy or the Mervyns?
For sure, She's Sassy.
Yeah, we should start with.
Corey.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a letter I'm reading right now. And I have some questions about it. Anyway, I didn't tell you on the phone, but on Friday, this is the reason why I was mad. I found a note that was to Amy from you. It read, Amy, comma, why would you go with Jason and not Patrick? Reply, Corey, really, I wouldn't go with either of them. Not trying to be mean. You definitely should like whoever you want. Maybe there is something you see in Patrick that I don't. After all, you've known him longer than I have. One other thing. You know how Amy said you wouldn't go with him because he's not your type? I think that she's just jealous because he might like you. Oh, well, see ya, Patrick lover. First of all, I never ever told Amy that I liked Pat, so that only means that someone did, not naming any names, Corey. I never said that he wouldn't go with you because he didn't seem like your type. I've started to not like Amy anymore. Things that she has done have gone way, underlined, too far. Okay, this note, I have like 20 notes that are exactly like this.
Yeah.
It's all about who likes who and then some kind of drama around who likes who.
And did you actually say something?
And did you say
I'm
something or
implying
did you
something?
not?
I'm sure a good chunk of
Most of this
Most.
She's Sassy box are like this.
yes.
Now that we are adults, Corey,
Yeah.
what do you think this is all about? Is there anything that you learned from this kind of back and forth behavior? Or is it just like weird 12-year-old bullshit?
Like on the surface, it's nonsense.
Right.
It's a moment in time of nonsense, but like I was learning how to communicate with other people and that things didn't always go my way or I am going to have conflict. And so, I'm learning how to interact with other people and get along. Yeah.
I feel like two big lessons I learned kind of in middle school. Number one, okay, maybe this took me to like sophomore year, but like don't hook up with anyone your friend is interested in. Like
Yes,
leave it
absolutely.
alone. There are plenty of boys to go out with. If they claim it, if they're going after that guy, don't go there. And I feel like that continues into my adulthood as a value I have.
Agreed. And I think that what we see happening in middle school and why there's so much turmoil is that it's sort of the first time that you're starting to like people, you're actually being able to act on it.
Right.
You have that sort of like tiny bit of maturity. You have your little tiny boobs and like, a couple little pubes and
Ew.
little boobs, little pubes. It's totally true.
Yeah.
And you're just figuring it all out. And so all of a sudden you're like, "Ooh, you're cute." And then you have all these like little mini, "Well, do you like me too?" Or wait, you?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
You? And that's all it is. And
Well, and it's even more confusing because you do everything with your like bestie or group of girlfriends or
Absolutely.
whatever. So you're like talking about what boys are cute. So it also makes sense that the two of you or three of you or whatever would like the same boy.
Absolutely.
That's like a natural occurrence. Now that we're old, You and I would not like the same boy. We've
No.
figured out what boys we
Absolutely
like.
not.
We're not interested in the same thing.
No.
When we were 12, we'd be like, yeah, Patrick or whoever would
Exactly.
be like the boy we would like.
There's also, I think, not everybody's maturing at the same time. That sort of like, ooh, I'm interested in people now doesn't always happen at the same time.
Totally.
And, in middle school, some people are just really, they're still babies. Like, they're still so fresh out of elementary school.
Yeah.
That they're really learning how to do stuff. Whereas you also have kids who have been walking home when that was totally appropriate for you to walk home with a key. Latchkey kids who've been going home by themselves and taking care of themselves since like second grade.
Right. Like way more mature.
Way more mature.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have kids who are still being dropped off. They weren't sitting in the car seats like they are now. Legitimately, there's probably still junior high students who are sitting in a booster.
Absolutely. Because
their parents
they
are
weigh
so
70
neurotic, and
pounds
they're-
also.
They weigh 70 pounds.
When I coached middle school, the range was so apparent. I had girls on my cheer team that would want to like hug me and hold my hand and like sit on my lap like little kids.
Yep.
And then there was girls that legitimately, were having sex and getting pregnant and becoming moms. Like the
Yeah.
same grade
Group.
level, would be doing that.
Exactly. I had this interaction with somebody this week and it blew my mind. I was working with somebody and we were talking about kids and we were joking, and these gentlemen I was working with were over 10 years younger than I was. And I'm like, one of these days, when you have kids or whatever.
Yeah, and you get your minivan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys says, I have an 11-year-old, which
Damn.
meant he became a father at like 13 or 14, which is mind blowing. Like my face blew off. I was so absolutely stunned. And
Right,
just-
because, and I mean, the reason we're stunned is that we're reading these notes and seeing how freaking stupid you are
You're
when you're 13,
dumb.
14.
dumb.
You have no business, if at all possible, to be raising a child
Exactly.
because your brain is not fully formed.
No. You're lucky I'm giving you a key to the house
Yeah.
and letting you stay home for a couple hours because you're that dumb.
So I feel like the other thing I learned, which is, a little bit ongoing, is the like, mind your business and don't talk shit about other people, because that process does not end up well for you.
Exactly, because, and that's also, we have those little mini interactions of that, and like the little girl stuff. I don't like Amy. She called me a snob. All of that is just, it's bullshit.
Right.
That is 100% of the bullshit. You should mind your own damn business.
Right.
And none of it matters.
Yeah.
None of it matters. I agree with that.
We veered off for a minute into teen pregnancy, which is not the topic of today's conversation. But the hormones that cause all of this conflict and drama are also the same hormones that lead to teen pregnancy. So if you became a parent when you were a teen or prior to when you thought you were ready to become a parent, just know from me to you, hats off. You killed it. Congratulations, Mama.